Hey everyone, welcome to Crypto Data. So today we're going to go over some interesting articles, but first let's go ahead and look at the market. So today the market hasn't really been doing too much. Some coins are in the red, some are in the green. We have Bitcoin staying stable at about $9,266. It's up 0.31%. Ethereum's down 0.5% at $746. Ripple's down 2% at 80 cents. So you see there's not too much action going on. If you look at Bitcoin, the graph here, you can see I drew a support line here at about $9,000. That seemed to play a pivotal support in the recent fall that it had. And you can see here we've bounced to about 92.50. Now, if we fall down below 9,000, I'm seeing us in this range of 89 to 8,800. So again, this is the support range that I'm looking at. And yeah, just make sure you look at this if you do want to buy the dip. It's definitely something to keep in mind. And again, I see Bitcoin rallying next week. I made a video on it yesterday mentioning why. Basically, the Consensus 2018 conference. It's going to have a lot of investors and a lot of speakers. But looking at the news, so one of the big things that came out today is the Winklevoss twins secure patent for cryptocurrency ETP exchange. So those who don't know who the Winklevoss twins are, basically, they were one of the, you could call them co-founders of Facebook, but basically they were in a lawsuit with Mark Zuckerberg saying he stole their idea for Facebook. They settled in court for $65 million. They used that money to buy Bitcoin at the time. And I believe they have, if I'm not mistaken, they have over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. So they're really avid proponents of Bitcoin. They created the exchange Gemini, and they've been acquiring patents. I believe they've acquired 5 patents so far and are trying to really grow the cryptocurrency space. So they're great ambassadors for the space, and they're making it as big as they can because one, it helps their bottom line. So why not? So basically what this patent does, it says, according to the patent filing made public by the United States Patent and Trademark Office on May 8th, 2017, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss have won a patent for settling exchange-traded products, ETPs, with digital currencies. It says including Bitcoin, Ripple, Dogecoin, and Ethereum. It says ETPs are derivative-based investments that are traded on securities exchange. An ETP is generally valued on the basis of a benchmark stock or commodity. And then it says, which in this case, patent would be Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrency. So basically what this is saying is they got a patent on having an ETF, trading an ETF tied to like Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency. Because last year they actually filed to have ETFs traded for Bitcoin. It was actually rejected. I believe that was rejected by the SEC. So instead, they have a patent to where whenever someone wants to trade ETFs, I believe that patent will make it to where they'll maybe get some kickback for that. So that was very smart on their part. While Bitcoin futures are offered by the CBOE and CME, no ETPs exist for the U.S. cryptocurrency market yet. So it'll just be a matter of time, but they're kind of already on the forefront of that for when they do exist. They're going to get a lot of profit from that. So I thought this was great. It's just showing that, they're thinking ahead, thinking of the future, and just they can see where cryptocurrencies are going and want to get on the forefront of that, before everyone else does. So I thought this was good. Kind of just spreads another positive message about cryptocurrencies. But the main thing I want to talk about today is this guy right here. And it says tech investor Chamath Palihapitiya. I may be saying that wrong. He says, I'm a Warren Buffett disciple, but he's wrong about Bitcoin. So for those who know, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Charlie Munger talked about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies the other day. And I made a video on that as well. And basically, well, I'll go ahead and let you see some of this video and exactly, why this guy is right. And I love a lot of the points that he makes.
A big bull on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
We had some folks that some people know on our show earlier this week. Becky was out in Omaha. I want to show you what they had to say if we could roll the tape on Bitcoin from Mr. Munger and Mr. Buffett.
The asset itself is creating nothing.
I think it's a scumball activity.
I would short it if there was an easy way to do it.
So there you have it. You have Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. One of them was calling it a scumball activity. The other saying, Bill Gates saying he would short this thing if he could. And you're saying they're all wrong.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, look, not everybody is right all the time. And I think we have to acknowledge that we all have biases. And look, I'm a disciple of Buffett and Munger. And one of the things that they have said for years, which I believe, is you define a circle of competence and you stay within it. And I think it's been clear in his entire investing career that technology is not in his circle of competence. And so the only technology name that he's owned is Apple. I mean, you could claim that IBM was a technology company. That's borderline.
It's out of that. That didn't work anyway.
Right.
And Apple, I was thinking that if he got in Bitcoin, if he eventually got in Bitcoin, when he eventually got into Apple, it'd already be at $1 million probably.
Probably.
But Jamal.
So he's so right about that. So basically what he's saying is, they have a circle of competence. Even Warren Buffett said, stay in your circle of competence, but they're talking about something they know nothing about. So, Chamath was saying that Warren Buffett's hardly invested in technology. Apple is really the only technological thing he's invested in, so he really knows nothing about it. So for him to make those comments, it's asinine because he doesn't know anything about it. And not to mention, Bill Gates mentioned ICOs as ICOs. So if you watch the interview longer, he calls them ICOs, and that tells you there's a complete disconnect with their knowledge of cryptocurrencies. So this guy's basically saying they're wrong because they're not in the generation of today. They aren't up to date with the technology of today, and they just don't understand it. And I'm so glad that he said that, and they really focused on that, because the three NBC people here, that one guy towards the end, he was kind of, for this guy, but they're all three kind of against him in the sense that they don't believe in Bitcoin either, because they see these big figures, you have Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Charlie Munger, and they see them as, the almighty, successful people, which they are. It's just, this is out of their realm. So I'm glad that they had this guy on. I'm glad that he brought up these valid points, and it could kind of dismiss some of the FUD that's going around with, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates about, their negative view towards Bitcoin. So hopefully this will kind of turn the tides, per se, about what people are thinking about Bitcoin. And again, just reemphasizing the point that it's not in their realm of knowledge and they just don't understand it yet. That's why they're so negative about it. So I thought this was an awesome interview. I thought the guy, he had so many good points, and he really put them in their place when he mentioned, they're all wrong and here are the reasons why. So a great interview, and I love this from here. So definitely check it out if you haven't. But last but not least, talking about big investors. So this company here, Zappos, it says the wealthy are hoarding $10 billion of Bitcoin in bunkers. So this company, Zappos, pretty much what they do is they have these bunkers where they're storing clients' Bitcoin on cold storage. So it says behind the guards, the blast doors, and down corridors of reinforced concrete sit the encrypted computer servers connected to nothing that hold keys to a vast digital fortune. It says Argentine entrepreneur Wences Cesaris has spent the past several years persuading Silicon Valley millionaires and billionaires that Bitcoin is the global currency of the future, that they need to buy some, and that he's the man to safeguard it. His startup Zappo has built a network of underground vaults on 5 continents, including one in a decommissioned Swiss military bunker. So this is huge. Right now that basically you're your own bank when you're holding Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, because you don't want the bank to hold them. And so you have to hold them either on cold storage, which I definitely recommend, Ledger Nano S, Trezor, something along those lines, because holding it on an exchange, while it's somewhat safe, is not foolproof, because you can still have hackers. The exchange can close down, can get hacked. You have all kinds of different things going on. So you're essentially your own bank. And if you lose that passphrase or your private key, you can't get your money back. So your cryptocurrency is lost if you lose that wallet. So basically what they're saying is, hey, if you believe in Bitcoin, you're holding it long term, and you have a lot of money invested, come invest it with us. And basically they have all kinds of security here. They have fingerprint authentication with a heartbeat monitor, so if someone has an amputated hand, it won't work. They have distress words. They'll FaceTime you if you want to invest a lot of money. And they have just a lot of safeguards. And I think this kind of is setting the standard for, big investors who want to get in this space. And it says 2 Zappo clients said it houses roughly $10 billion of Bitcoin. Another person close to the venture called the figure an accurate approximation. And it said, and it basically talks about, who the investors are. It says Zappo's billionaire backers include LinkedIn Corp co-founder Reid Hoffman and former Wall Street trader Mike Novogratz, who's in the process of setting up his own cryptocurrency merchant bank. So again, more of these merchant banks are coming up for cryptocurrencies to safeguard, clients' money. And I think this is great because it just shows, there's still not large institutional investors in this space. So they're getting ready for those institutional investors, because when they do happen, you're going to need some place to store everything. And Coinbase they mentioned that they were, you know, I forgot what they were calling it, but they also had kind of like a storage place for clients' Bitcoin. And then you have other companies like Zappo here, and a lot of different hedge funds are setting up, you know, separate merchant banks to hold their investors' Bitcoin. So this is amazing. You know, it's just one extra thing, one more, you know, thing of positive news to bring out. And again, there's just, like I mentioned here, it's a tidal wave of new investors coming in, so they need places to store those high amounts of cryptocurrency. So I thought y'all would enjoy this. If y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, thanks for watching.